At Lawrence Middle School, we are committed to providing a safe and caring environment for our students. We rely on our students, our staff, and our students' families to create a climate where everyone feels safe, comfortable, and accepted. We want our students to love coming to Lawrence Middle School. We strive to promote academic excellence, and our teachers utilize strategies based on current research and the most effective classroom practices, all while recognizing individual differences in learning among our students. Our school encourages academic leadership, character development, and intellectual curiosity. At Lawrence Middle School, we work together to help our students become tomorrow's citizens.
Sixth graders, how are you? We are so glad that you are with us today. I am Miss Mulaski. I am the LMS principal, and we are here with you with Miss Strominger, who is our Orion House leader, Mr. Merrill, who is our assistant principal, Miss Reynolds, who is our Draco House leader, and Miss Bozarth, who is our Phoenix House leader. And we are excited to bring you the first of many orientations that we are going to be having with you. And we are just so glad to be with you. We hope you are well. Normally, we would be, traditionally, I'd say, we would be coming to your school to have this orientation. But in these times, things are a little bit different. So this is what we're doing. And we're happy to be with you. So we're going to learn all about the middle school, hopefully from watching that video that you just got a chance to watch. You understand that LMS also stands for Love My School, and we want you to love your school here when you come to the middle school. So let's get started. We have lots to go over because we know that you want to learn all about the middle school and what that middle school experience is. And so the main things you need to really know is that we really care about you and we want you to succeed here. So things that you work on, you're going to be working on your self-awareness. You're going to work on your self-management. How do you monitor yourself? You're going to build on your relationships. And that doesn't mean boyfriend and girlfriend relationships or, romantic relationships, I should say. That's all of your relationships with student to student, relationships with your teachers, relationships with your parents, as well as you try to navigate middle school. Social awareness, what's happening out there in the world? What's happening besides what's in your life in general? And then how are you going to make good decisions once you get here and you move on? Because our job is to help prepare you for high school. It is 2 quick, fast years as we move through the middle school experience. All right, so what you can expect from us here at the middle school is a caring, student-centered environment. We have an excellent faculty, and you'll hear them today. It's going to be challenging, though. The work is going to be challenging. It is a challenging curriculum, but we want to have open communication with you. We want to talk with you. We want to hear from you. We do a lot of emailing you. a lot of video presentations like this, but we really want to get to know you. And then we also want you to develop socially and emotionally throughout your years here at the middle school. All right, some facts. Mr. Merrill, why don't you go over some of these facts that we have here?
Yeah, so obviously the top line there, we are a 7th and 8th grade building. So we will have you for the next 2 years before we prepare you and send you off to the high school. Within those 2 grades, we usually average about 600 students, so 300 per grade level. The schedule as it stands right now typically has 51-minute periods. So you can expect to have your core academic classes. So that's your math, your language arts, science, and social studies. You're going to have those classes every day that you're here. The related arts such as art, technology, communications, those are going to be every other day throughout the year in a trimester type schedule. Along with, as 7th graders, you're going to be able to experience 3 different languages. So we will take you through Spanish, French, and Chinese. So that'll be split up, in thirds. So each trimester you'll have a different language to learn. You'll of course have your health and phys ed classes. They'll be every other day. Anybody that's interested in continuing on with some music or trying music for the first time, we have choral groups, we have orchestra, we have band. We also have a gifted and talented program for students that qualify. We have lots of team type activities. We have a great counseling staff. We have 2 school counselors as well as 3 of our child study team members here in the building to help support you along the way. We have different levels of academic support instruction, whether that's for students in ESL, for students in special education, for students who just need a little bit of extra help in language arts, reading, and math. And we obviously have computers. Every student, every teacher will have a laptop that you'll be responsible for bringing with you to school and taking good care of it and charging it every night. And obviously, we're all used to being on the computer after these past 18 months. We are big, our first slide was all about social emotional needs and caring for you. We are a big character education school, and as a district as a whole, as you probably are aware at LIS as well. So we have lots of different initiatives and programs here at the school to really instill those strong character values in our students. We have a Cardinal Time class, which most of you will have, where we can dive into a lot of different topics related to character traits like caring, responsibility, citizenship. We also get into themed months, whether it's Hispanic Heritage Month, whether it's Black History Month, Women's History Month. We have a cardinal code here that we live and breathe by. So it's being ready, being respectful, and being responsible. So you can expect to see and hear those words and those phrases a lot here at the middle school. We have a day of service on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We have a fun, great 8th grade interview day through our communications class that's set up. Energy Bus, lots of great things designed to really instill quality human being characteristics here at the school.
I'm muted, sorry. Yeah, so what we do academically, we knew that was going to happen, right? At some point, someone was going to be muted because we have lots going on here. You heard somebody's radio was in the background, and we are in our classes here. School is in session. So we apologize if there's some background noise. I'm sure you guys are used to that at this point, though. But anyway, character is all part of it, right? We want to have good citizens in our buildings, and I know that you have been doing a great job at LIS, and you're going to continue that until you graduate from high school here in Lawrence Township, because we are a district of character, not just schools of character. So I'm going to turn this over to our house leaders, and they're just going to talk a little bit about the house system. They're going to introduce themselves and then tell you about the house system. Who wants to go first? Should I pick on you? All right, Miss Bozard, you're first. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
now I know. I was trying to figure out how to use the mute button. Hi, I'm Mrs. Bozarth. I am the Phoenix House leader. We do lots of really cool activities here. We're very competitive. We get to play different games to try to get house points. I say we're very competitive because someone's
Miss
pretty.
Bozarth is very competitive, but you actually have a very competitive principal. So we all are very competitive. If you heard me yesterday at the track meet, you could hear me all the way down Princeton Pike. I'm surprised you didn't hear me at LAS cheering on our students. But part of that is we have fun because you belong to something. As soon as you enter this school, you will all receive your coveted t-shirts for your house. But tell them about their houses. And I know the biggest question they probably have, Mrs. Bozarth, is will I be on my brother or sister's team or their house? How about my friends? Will I be on my friend's house?
Okay, so it's not guaranteed based on whether your brother or sister was in the House of Phoenix or Orion or Draco. It doesn't matter. It's usually a random scenario, so it doesn't matter what your siblings have been in before. So that's good news. You still have a chance to be on Phoenix if you were on one of the other houses. If you're not on the house with your friends, that tends to be more of a bigger concern than to which house you're on. If you're not on the same house as your friends, it's okay because you still get to see them after school. You can see them at lunchtime. You see them around the building. So it's not the end of the world that you are not in the same classes. And in some cases, maybe it'd be a good thing so you're not distracted by them. But the best part about it is you get to meet new people and make new friends. And then you have your other friends from before and you have your new friends from now. So it's always a good opportunity. So look at it as a growing experience and a positive experience because it's a great time.
Yeah. And every class is not on house either. There are some classes that are off house, that are mixed houses. So you can absolutely see some of your friends. Mrs. Reynolds, can you talk a little bit about the colors and
Absolutely. So each house is assigned a color. So the House of Draco, which I am the house leader for, we are red. So everything, we represent red all over the building. Miss Strominger, who is the Orion house leader, Orion represents white. And then Miss Bozarth, who is the Phoenix house leader, the house you can see by her shirt, they represent the color black. So we will have school spirit days where you'll wear your house colors. So anyone who's representing Draco will have red on, Orion will wear white, and Phoenix will wear black. And we do that a lot over the course of the year as a way to kind of earn house points and to show your school spirit.
And so ultimately, now I'm going to show something on the screen. This is not from last year. This is from the year before. But ultimately, we're shooting for this, right? You're going for the trophy. Now, that was 2 years ago. Who was our winner last year? Orion. Yes, Orion was the house champions last year. But that is what you are shooting for. You are shooting for this coveted trophy. So as Miss Reynolds said, there's going to be days that we're going to ask you to wear your red, your white, your black, and support your team, because here at LMS, we got spirit. We got a lot of spirit, and we expect you to have spirit as well. And we want you to participate in as many things as possible. All right, we're going to move on. We'll hear from Miss Strominger as well. So why don't, Miss Strominger, why don't you take this next slide that I'm going to share with everybody. Here you go.
Okay, so I'm Mrs. Strominger. I'm the Orion house leader, as we said before. So something that's really important to us at Lawrence Middle School is the Cardinal Code. And as it says here, it's respectful, responsible, and readiness. And this is infused into everything we do every day. We even have a Cardinal countdown. We say 3, 2, 1, ready. When we do that, everybody's silent. It's really awesome to watch too, because we all know what that means, and we stop and we are able to take care of whatever task is at hand or be part of an assembly, whatever that might look like in the future. But again, because it's infused in all of your classes, everyone knows if you go to phys ed or if you go to math class, this is what all of us as a culture, as a school, as a building take pride in. And you will be part of that, which is an amazing thing. We can't wait until you come.
All right, so let me talk to you about this communication. and we want to stay connected to you and to your parents. So it's always like, well, how do I get the information? How do I know what's happening at the middle school? And part of your responsibility as a student is to be in the know, right? Where do you go for information? So obviously, parent access in Genesis. This is when I would say to you, how many of you check your grades in Genesis? And hopefully the entire room is raising your hand. So LIS teachers, check those hands, see if they're checking. Are you checking your Genesis out there? And that's where you're going to find a lot of your information. You're going to find out your schedule. You're going to find out your teachers. You can email your teachers directly from Genesis. We put in course pages where we have links. That's where we're putting all of our links for Zoom classes, for your Google Classroom. And you can find all of that in the beginning of the year, all right in Genesis. We use our website, the LMS webpage. We post stuff. Imagine that. It's a website, right? We post information there so that you know what's happening. Your teachers have websites, but more importantly, they really are using their Google Classroom. And that's where they are sharing information with you on a constant basis. And they are putting information there, they're posting, they're using the banner, they're emailing you directly from there as well. We also send out lots of phone dialers to your homes, and you might get those if we have an upcoming event or activity. You get email messages, and usually it comes from either me or it's coming from LMS Nation, because everything we do is from LMS Nation. We have a Facebook page that's generally for your parents. We have lots of stuff in our quick news. We have a Twitter, but we also have an Instagram. So when you're allowed to have an Instagram, you can also follow us at LMS Nation on Instagram. It's a great way for you to find out, see what the highlights, lots of pictures of things that are going on here in the school. People always love seeing their stuff on the Nation. That's what they call it. When we're posting. And so you'll see the latest and greatest of the things that have been happening. You also can use your computer screen. Every week we are posting a new reminder about something. So Mr. Stamatellis, who's our technology teacher, does a great job of posting the weekly schedule and then any events that are coming on. So there's really no excuse for you not to know what's happening, because you all have a computer, your school computer, you open it up, and right on that screen has what the schedule is and then exciting upcoming events that we have here at LMS. All right, let's move on. Oh, school times. Now, this is still kind of in the talks about what time school is going to start. We probably are going to start a little bit earlier because we've been getting here. We've got some kids coming here. I'm going to say it out loud. Are you ready to hear it? 7:15. Yes. Buses might drop off at 7:15. You might have to be at your bus stop at 6:30 and maybe even before that. So you're going to have to start going to bed a little bit earlier, getting a good night's sleep so that you're up and ready to go for your day. These times are in talk right now, so they may not be the exact times for next year. As a district, they're looking at all of our start and end times based on everything that's COVID related. So, but it'll probably just be tweaked 10, 15 minutes either at the beginning or at the end of this time. So those of you that are going to be riding a bus, you will be getting a bus pass in the mail, and it'll tell you exactly what time to go out. But as you know, as bus riders already, you need to usually be there 10 minutes before, because the bus can come 10 minutes before, and sometimes it can come 10 minutes after, depending on traffic, depending on what the weather is, and so forth. And then we have a lot of students that walk to school or they have parent drop off. And our walking to school is great. If you want to ride your bike to school, we love that. And Ms. Strominger, if they ride their bike to school, what do they need to do? The most important part, they need to do what?
Bring a lock.
And
asking, wear a helmet. Oh my goodness. Yes, wear a helmet. We are a big wear a helmet school. We have actually in the past, we have had people come in to talk to us about brain injuries and the importance of wearing a helmet. So if any of you are like, I'm not wearing a helmet, in our building, you're going to hear it from all of your teachers and Ms.
it's the law, actually.
It's the law. But Ms.
Yeah.
DiTomaso, if she sees you not wearing a helmet, or any of the other teachers, they're going to tell you the safety of wearing a helmet. And we really expect that you wear it to school. But yes,
Absolutely.
also bring a lock.
Yes, bring a lock. We have 2 bike racks out front, so you're absolutely allowed to ride your bike. And then there are some kids that like to skateboard, and so your skateboard is not going to fit into your locker. We have whole lockers. We actually are not using our whole lockers right now because of COVID, but Mr. Merrill loves to hold on to your skateboards in his office. He probably has like 2 or 3 right now in there. Or scoot, there it is. Yep. So you can do it, but once you get on campus, you are asked to grab it and walk it into the main building. The other thing too is entry to the building. We're not sure yet, and we apologize for not giving you all the details because we just don't know what our situation is going to be come September. Right now, all of our students are entering different doorways. In past years, everybody would enter door number 1. So you're going to need to pay attention late August, early September. We'll have another orientation where we will give you all of that information of how we're going to be entering the building. One thing I will tell you is that everyone's going to be getting their school picture, and then it's going to go on, and you're going to get an ID, and you're going to get a lanyard. So all of our kids now are carrying their school IDs. Thank you, Mrs. Reynolds. Are carrying their school IDs and their lanyards, and we are scanning into the building when we come in. We are scanning into the bathrooms currently, and a lot of that is for contact tracing, and it's also for attendance purposes. So we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep using the scanners in different places. You're going to see a scanner in the library. You're going to see a scanner in the guidance office. You're going to see a scanner in the main office when you come in. So having your ID is really important. And I'll tell you a secret. You can also go and get your QR code. If you forgot your ID, you can grab your QR code off of Genesis. When you click your student ID, a QR code comes up for you that is just for you. And that you can scan in with that. You just have to take a picture of it to get in. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about academics. And so I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Bozarth, and you're going to talk a little bit about core subjects, world languages, and related arts, please.
Okay, so academics is the main reason that you're here at school. So that's what we focus on. I mean, we want to make sure that you're having fun and all of that, but school is school. So we have our core subjects. You will have your main subjects, language arts, math, social studies, and science every day. World languages, related arts usually are on an alternating day schedule. And again, like Ms. Malowski said, the Dr. Malowski, excuse me, it is still up in the air. So we're not really sure how everything's going to work, but the core subjects will be every day. You're responsible for, if you're out of school, responsible to get your work. You need to make sure that you're keeping up with all of your assignments, especially now with a lot of digital stuff. It makes it so easy because you can look right in Google Classroom and see your what you have done and have not done.
So big key words there, self-responsibility, right? And that's one of our tenets is about being responsible. And you're going to see a big onus for you to do what you need to do. That means being on top of your assignments, coming to school on time, having good attendance, because attendance counts for you to move on to the next grade level. That means you need to be attending school. And it's a graduation requirement once you get to high school. So we practice really good attendance here at the middle school and making sure, and that way you don't miss assignments. You got everything at your fingertips. When you're here, you know what's going on, you know what you need to do, and that's your best bet. All right. Thank you, Ms. Bozarth. Moving on, expectations. How about Ms. Reynolds? Can you talk a little bit about this?
Of course. So obviously our primary goal, and Ms. Bozarth did just mention that, is our high academic expectations. You're here ultimately for your education. We do so many awesome other things, but our ultimate goal is your overall educational experience. And we also strive to make sure that everyone is making good social and emotional decisions. And that's where we have a wonderful guidance department. We have a wonderful child study team. We take a Cardinal Time class, which also focuses on this. A lot of our health curriculum focuses on our social and emotional decisions. So those are our two primary goals within the middle school. We also focus on our Cardinal Code, which Ms. Strominger went into detail about. And then we have our Code of Conduct. Obviously, we are a school. We do have rules that are associated with us that we have to follow every day. And that some of our big things are dress code. We have certain expectations on what students, that everyone should be wearing, and we'll go through those in more detail. And then we have, obviously, attendance. You're expected to be here. It's school. Everyone should be here, and everyone should be on time to school. And I know that's difficult, especially because we start a lot earlier than what you guys are used to at LIS. But it's something that you'll get into the habit of. And those are expectations, that we're here every day and we're on time every day. You're muted, Ms. Malowski.
Sorry. So moving on, instructional houses. We really kind of talked about this, but these are the pictures that go along with your houses, our symbols that we have. And so get used to seeing these, because you will hear a lot about the houses, but we did already kind of go over this. And so how about Ms. Strominger, you talk to us a little bit about extracurricular activities.
Okay, sure. So we have lots of different extracurricular activities. For example, for academic, we have the Science Bowl, which Ms. Bozarth is the teacher in charge of that. We have the Math League with Ms. Foray, excuse me. We have sports. We have, in the fall, soccer and cross country. And then in the winter, it's basketball, cheerleading, and that's it, right? And then in the winter, we have...
So we have, I picked the right person for this, I see.
No, this is actually Miss Reynolds who usually does this.
I know, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You can just let
I
Miss Reynolds do it because she does a better job. I'm the next one.
You're doing a great job, Miss Strominger. You just forgot field hockey and wrestling. That's all.
Oh my gosh, those are huge. See,
I know.
Let's do it. I am in charge of the house stuff.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Miss Reynolds.
All right, so we have a variety of different sports. Like Ms. Strominger said, in the winter, we do have basketball, we have wrestling, we have cheerleading. In the spring, we have track and field, we have softball, and we have baseball. So we have a variety of different school type sports, but we also offer intramural sports. So those are a couple times during the year where you can just stay after school and maybe we play basketball or volleyball. It's a little less athletic, I guess you could say. It's just an opportunity for everyone to be able to participate in something. We also have an amazing fine and performing arts program here at the middle school. They are currently putting on High School Musical Junior right now. And despite all of our challenges this year, they've put on an amazing performance. And there's a picture that you can see right now. We have chorus classes. We have a performing arts class for our 8th graders. We have a lot of different opportunities within. We have an art club, everything that falls into those categories. And then we offer a bunch of different service learning type projects. We have a social club here in the building that individuals are able to be part of, and a bunch of different things that each year kind of change based on teacher interest, student interest, and so forth.
Yeah, so we have a student council. We have WLMS, which is our announcements. And as you heard Mrs. Bozarth say, or I think it was Ms. Strominger actually said, we have Science Bowl, we have Math League, so we have some academic things. We have Model UN for our 8th graders. See, Ms. Strominger, you knew what was going on. You're good. You got it. And as you can see also, we make fun of ourselves here. We don't take ourselves seriously because guess what? We mess up. I've messed up like 5 times already on this presentation, and it's all good. And we want you to know that's one of the great things about the middle school is it's about learning and taking risks. And we're not always going to be perfect, We're not going to always know all of the answers, but the best thing is we try. We try our best. And that's what we ask of you. Every day that you come, we want you to be kind. That's the main, we really want you to be kind to each other. We talk about kindness all of the time here at the middle school because it's so important. And we want you to give what you need. So if you need kindness from people, you got to give it, and then they will return. And our staff will give it to you tenfold yes, exactly. We love our kids, and we're excited to meet all of you and have you come to the middle school. But we want you to be kind to each other, and we want you to take risks, and we want you to make mistakes. But we also want you to take responsibility for that and know that you have a role in the things that you do. So do the right thing, and you're going to be golden. All right. I think this is a time that I think we're supposed to. We actually went through this pretty quick. Did I go over your slide, Mrs. Schrominger? Because I'm at the. Oh, you're muted.
Kind of. I didn't really talk a lot about the houses with the students. So one of the things I wanted to go back to was, why are we these names? Because a lot of students were like, where did this come from? So these are constellations. And so Orion, Draco, and Phoenix, when the house system was set up years ago, this is what we came up with. And I would like to say that each of the houses are great. They all have their own personalities. And we know we joke, and Miss Bozarth likes to talk about how she likes to win, but each house, when you're in it, you're going to love it because it becomes part of who you are. It reminds me a lot of like Harry Potter, when the kids are sorted into their houses, and then everything you do while you're in school, it's a part of house things. So any activities that you take part in, for example, we have fundraisers where we bring in things for people who need it, and that goes towards house points. So it's not only that we care about others, but we're also, kind of showing everyone like, hey, we're getting involved. You need to get involved too. We have Jeans for Teens. Sorry.
We have announcements going on right now too, because it's getting to be dismissal time.
So we have things like Jeans for Teens. We have our spirit days. So we have all these really fun spirit days, and student council actually does a lot to plan these days. But your participation in those days counts. Your attendance counts for house points. You doing well in your classes counts for house points. So everything that you do, we see it, we notice it, and it's counted by one of the security guards in the building who takes it very seriously. So there is no cheating here. And I say that because a lot of students are like, is it fixed? Do you have somebody different win every year? No, it really doesn't. It's really not about that. It's about us doing our best to show spirit. We dress up for Halloween. We dress up for Twin Day. We have Pajama Day. We have Hat Day. When kids come up with other ideas, one year they wanted Superhero Day. All those count. And it creates this spirited building. And our houses, one of my students said years ago, she said, houses may divide us in a way, but we're also cardinals. This is the moment we become cardinals. And you're going to keep that spirit throughout the rest of the time that you're here.
Absolutely, Ms. Schrominger, you're absolutely right that it is all about being a cardinal, and we strive to do our best as cardinals. So I want to share something else with you real quick. Let me just see if I can grab it. Hopefully it's on the right thing here. And so this is our mission statement here at the middle school. And our mission is the Lawrence Middle School community of students, staff, and parents will provide a safe and nurturing environment that recognizes individual differences among learners. Students will be expected to strive for academic excellence through their meaningful effort, independent practice, dedication, perseverance, diligence, and personal responsibility. Equally important is the nurturing of the whole child through character development, to be responsible global citizens of the 21st century. And when we look at this and we highlight some of the words, we take this seriously. This part, safe environment. We want our students not safe from the bad guys out in the world, right? Yes, we want to do that too. We want to keep all the bad guys out, that are going to do harm to us, but we also want people to feel safe as part of our school community and feel safe to be who they are, to be able to show who they are as individuals. And as I said before, to take risks. So that starts with kindness, always starts with kindness and how we can be kind to each other. So important when we go through this. This is why this mission statement is here. And we ask you to strive. We want students will be able to strive. That means meaningful effort. Are you really, like, when you reflect on your efforts this year, were you really doing your best all the time? Were you showing up and being there for your teachers and greeting them and smiling and participating? Or did you show up on the screen like this? Or did you show up like this? How did you show up every day? And, were you persevering? Because we know it was hard this year. Were you diligent in making sure you were following up on assignments and asking your teachers for extra help? Were you taking personal responsibility for your actions? This is our mission, right? Our mission is to get you ready for high school. We want you to show up as your best selves when you get to high school. You heard a little bit about our school counselors, and we have two fabulous school counselors. Here they are. Miss Garini and Miss Bob are our school counselors, and you can see they also have a lot of school spirit. You're going to notice also in our building that we have a Class 3 Lawrence Township police officer, similar to like how you have at your building. We have Officer Doldy, who is in our building, and he greets us every day. He's out up front. He's out at the bus port, but he's here to help you as well if you need assistance. And pretty much every staff member here wants you to succeed, right? They want you to be your best and to do your best. So it's important, again, that you show up ready to be that best. All right. Did I miss anything that we haven't gone over yet? All right. I wanted to share this. So we are having, and I don't copy this down because I'm not sure the date yet, but we will be having another orientation with you in August. And so we will put the exact date out. That's not the exact date that was on there. That was made up, and I don't think I added the new date. So it's usually around then. So if you're going away at the end of August, and I know everybody needs a vacation, think about, we'll put that out soon to save the date. We will have that for your parents. We are meeting with your parents on May 25th to do a very intensive orientation, which we will go into detail about the academic program. We invite you to come to that as well, and we will be here again, just like this, through a YouTube link with your parents, and we will be broadcasting all about, we'll be with our academic supervisors, our instructional supervisors, and they will be going over the instructional program in detail. So they will speak about, what do I actually learn in social studies class? What are the themes in our language arts curriculum? What are the units in science? Things like that. We're going to be very specific in that meeting. Again, that is May 25th. It's at 7 p.m. We've already put out a notice to your parents regarding that. And I'm going to put an email here, which is my email. And if you have questions and your teachers want to send us a shout out right now or a question, you can email me and I will check it if you have questions right now in your class. And we'll just kind of sit here and stare at you for a little bit to see if any questions come rolling in, because we're here to answer them. So if you have any questions, and then guys, what else do we need to tell everybody? What else do we need to tell everybody? I think we did a pretty good job. We'll pat ourselves on the back. Yeah.
What I'd like to say is something that Ms. Molasky was already talking about, but I think it's really important for you to know this, that about the teachers in this building. Our goal for you is that there is at least one adult, it doesn't even have to be a teacher, but one adult in this building that you can go to for anything that you need, and that you could get what you need from us. We want you to, when you leave here, to say, doesn't matter, again, who it was as the adult in the building, who is able to guide you and help you with whatever you need. So know that we are here for you. We really and truly care about what not only are you doing academically, but what your needs are sometimes that, you know, might be emotional or social, so that we can give you access to whatever person in the building who can help you best. And I think that's important for you to know, because relationships are really important to the teachers and the staff in this building. And you'll see that just like today when I messed up, I messed up. The people who were sitting here with me, they just let me go and helped me get better. And I'm not embarrassed, because, hey, I made a mistake and we move on. And that's what your classes are going to be like too, that your teachers are going to want you to put yourself out there and be like, oops, I made a mistake, please help me. So let this be this example to prove to you how much we really care about picking each other up and helping each other out.
Good one. All right, we're getting questions coming in. So I'm so excited from students. And so the first question is, can I play the piano? And you can talk with your music teacher about that. And yes, we have opportunities for playing the piano in band, in orchestra. I just don't know if they, depending on the director, it could be in either one of those programs. So I would speak to your band director there and your orchestra director there, and they will let you know which one to sign up for. It's either band or orchestra. So yes. There was another question about lunch, and we always love that question. Hi, how are you? What do you have for food when we have lunch? I'm going to trade that over to Miss Reynolds, because she's always, Miss Mozart. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss Mozart.
Miss Reynolds is the tour guide of the cafeteria, and it knows exactly how to do everything, but I am the best eater of the cafeteria. And our food is very, very good. We have lots of different choices. There's healthy choices, there's less healthy choices, but still healthy. So there's pizza and there's steak sandwiches, and my very favorite, the roast beef barge, which is by far my very favorite. But they have lots of different things. There's always something for you to find to eat. So yes, from what every other kid has ever said to us here, is it's way better than the food you have over there. That's what they've always said.
I am going to put out this disclaimer that we are not sure what lunch is going to bring us next year, if there's even going to be hot lunch next year, because we're just not sure how lunch is going to work. All right, so there's a lot of questions coming in from one of our favorites. Miss Narati is asking us questions, and one of the questions that, I'm getting too many that I can't even keep up. They want to know about the dress code. So let me just talk to you about the dress code. This is what you need to know. You can't wear flip-flops. You have to wear backs to your shoes. These are the main things. Ripped jeans have to be no rips above the knee. And then you need to wear shorts that are going to cover your booty. All right? Make sure they're covering your booty. We're not going to measure your straps. We want you dressed. We don't want to see undergarments. If it's under, it's supposed to be under, right? So we don't want to see your undergarments above your clothes. So we can see those. What you need to do is you need to look at yourself in the mirror. When you bend over, can you see too much? When you in the front and in the back. All right. And so those are the things that you need to think about it. Don't stress about it, but think about it. When you come to school, you're coming here for a job. Coming to school is a job. It is. It's what kids are supposed to do. We want you to dress the part, look the part, be the part. And when you dress in a certain way, you come with a certain attitude. You're not going to the beach and you're not going to a party. So make sure you're dressing for school. There were some questions about, like, if your older brothers and sisters have been through the middle school, or you had a family member that works here at the middle school, do you need to come to the orientation? Yes, because things change. And so you definitely want to come to the orientation. Classes have changed, so definitely need to do that. The question is about computer science. We don't have an actual computer science course. You have a technology classes, similar to the technology classes that you do at your school, but we don't have that here at here at the middle school. The question is, why does the middle school look so small from the outside? It's actually a little bit bigger than you think when you get in. We actually have a full auditorium, full seating, with a stage, that is separate from our gym. We have a full gym that we play full, obviously, basketball. Our cafeteria, I'll say, is small. We have a nice size library as well, but it may look smaller to you. Let me see. Repeated classes. Can we take the same class twice? There is no repeated classes. Every year you have to take your 4 core subjects. That's always the thing. You always are going to have to take art and technology and communication. These are things that are by law standards, the New Jersey student learning standards, that you have to take certain courses. So you don't really get much choice. The only things that you get choice about are music. And so and then you also get the choice in 8th grade of what language. But every kid, there was a question about language. And the question about language was, everybody takes a language. You will rotate through the 3 languages. You don't get a question here is about the school schedule. No one will get their school schedule until August. You will get your math placement. At the beginning of July. We'll let you know what your math placement is at the beginning of July. And then you won't get your actual bell schedule until the end of August. We also will mail out a letter, but you'll be able to see on Genesis. We have a great library with lots of things on the that are great books, and our librarian is fabulous, Mrs. Kramer. We don't have it, she'll find it for you, and she will help get that for you. I answered the computer science question already. Athletics, can you pick 2 athletic programs? You can play you can do 3 sports if you want, but they have to be in separate seasons. So you cannot do basketball and wrestling because it's in the same season. You can do basketball and baseball. You can do soccer, basketball, baseball, or you can do soccer, basketball, track, things like that. But you can't play in the same season, the same sport. The other thing is if you're going to be in the play or in the theater, it usually runs into the winter season. So if you're a basketball player or a cheerleader or a wrestler, you're going to have to make a choice. Do I want to be in the play? Or do I want to play a sport? All right. So those are things that you will need to think about. Hi, Amy Clark. Thank you, Amy Clark, for sending me a hi. How are you? Question, going to picnics at the end of the year like we have at LAS. Well, we normally have a 7th grade picnic. We did not last year, and we are not having one this year because of COVID. Hopefully things will happen. Somebody again is asking me about the about the music. Lots of music questions. Anything about music, you should ask your current band directors. They will reach out to our band directors and get that information to you. There's definitely vegetarian options in our cafeteria. Everybody's shaking their head. Lots of yummy things. How many classes do you have? That's a really good question. I'm going fast now answering these. But how many classes you have, every day you will go to 7 periods. But you have way more than 7 classes because we are on a red, white day. And you're going, what? What is she talking about? Don't worry about it now. Not worth it. We will work with you when you start. When you come into school, we will work with you. But you actually have a total of 10 classes at one time that's on your schedule, but we have an everyday schedule. Somebody's asking me about the types of people that are in the school. We have a very diverse community. It doesn't change from the school that you're in now, right? It's the same. You're with, the same almost 300 kids that you're there. It's the same 300 kids. And then there's 7th graders, the same 300 that you were with 2 years ago. So when you were in 5th grade, these kids were in 6th grade. So think about 5th and 6th grade. Who was in your school? That's what's going to be here next year. Everybody's interested in computer science. I wonder what's going on there with computer science. Everyone has to do world language. I answered that. Here's a good question. I think, Ms. Strominger, this one's for you. Are there any special events that happen at LMS, like Halloween parties and dances?
Okay. So typically in a school year, we do have dances. There is a 7th grade, 8th grade committee that puts the dances together. And then by the end of 8th grade, usually there is an 8th grade dance where you get dressed up. What that's going to look like in the future, we're not really sure. But we do have the dances often have a theme that goes with them, and you can come to the dances. And in the past, we've had the dances kind of sometimes in the middle of the week, and then we give a night off from homework, which has been really fun for students because, that night, the teachers and the students are a part of it. And yes, we do have a Halloween dance. The only thing that we require, just as in school, that you can't have something that we can't see who you are, like a mask that covers your face from seeing who you are. But we do have that. Anything else that they wanted to know from that question in case?
Yeah, they wanted to know how often we have house events.
Oh, okay. So also typically we would have once a month, we would have house relays. Again, we don't know what a lot of the stuff is going to look like because of just protocols and, COVID restrictions, but we would have house relays once a month. But in addition to that, we also have something called Minute to Win It. We have that right before Thanksgiving. We have student teacher versus teacher basketball game. We have student teacher volleyball game. And the student teacher basketball and student teacher volleyball game, that goes back to what Ms. Reynolds was talking about with the intramurals. Though it's less competitive, the students who are in intramural volleyball are the ones who get to play against the teachers. The students who are in intramural basketball are the ones who get to play against the teachers. And at that point, it's not about which house you're on, it's students versus teachers.
We had for the COVID restrictions, we did a scavenger hunt with our advisory classes, and that was really fun. We had people running all over their houses trying to find all kinds of stuff. That was super fun.
Yeah, so the big thing is we have all these great events, but unfortunately in the last year and a half, we haven't been able to have the traditional things that we do, but we've reinvented some of those things, and we've been able to do some of those things online and in a different way. Right. So we will have activities. They just may not be what we've done in the past traditionally. We still have lots of questions, and somebody else wants me to give them a shout out. That's Casper. And Casper has asked a lot of questions. So he wants to know if math is hard.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Exactly. It depends on who you ask. Here's the thing, Casper. Try your best, do your best, and it's not going to be hard. He also wants to know, are there nice people? Of course there's nice people. We've been saying that. Of course we're nice. We're the best. We are the nicest people ever. And then he wants to know, are there nice people, but are there nice teachers? Yes, we are all nice, and we are excited to meet you. Somebody asked about accelerated math. We're going to be going over what the requirements for math acceleration are at the May 25th meeting. And what the criteria, so you have to have certain grades to get into Math 7 Accelerated. You have to have certain motivation. You have to have certain test scores to get into an accelerated course. And yes, it's a little bit, I don't want to say it's more difficult. The pace of the class, the word accelerated, right? It moves at a faster pace than the general math class. So that's the difference there. Yes, I know you, Ava, and I know your parents too, because I'm that old. I had your parents as my students. And so, and we know your brother, and we don't currently have a debate club, but we have a fabulous communications class that Mr. Van Loo teaches, and you'll get to do some of those things in that class, as well as some of your regular classes. Ms. Narati had another question. Oh, when are they going to get their IDs? And so we won't be able to give you out your student IDs until you get your picture taken from the yearbook. So it takes about 2 to 3 weeks, but we will give you something else in the meantime. Again, don't worry about that. Ms. Narati has good questions from her class. The other question was about, do we have to pay to be in sports? No, you don't have to pay to be in a sports team here. You do need to try out though. And so certain sports you do need to try out, and there are cuts. You could potentially you may not make the team, but there's always something else for you to do. The other question was about cell phones. And so, Ms. Strominger, why don't you take that one?
So regarding cell phones, when you have a cell phone, it needs to be off, and the traditional rule has been in your locker. But since we've been in school now, and students don't have lockers, they are put away, they are off, and they are not used during the school day. If for some reason you have an emergency, you talk to one of your teachers, and we will make sure that you can get access to a phone, so you don't have to worry about that. We have off in the main office. Sometimes the teachers will just say, here, call from here. There's no problem. So again, you don't really need your cell phone, but it is off and away during the school day.
Yes. And then Aiden Berga. Of course, we know all of your family. So a shout out to Aiden Berga. Yes, we know the Berga family well. Okay, good for the sports. There is no football. We did Casper's questions. Oh, they want to know what's a recommended time to wake up for school if you're walking. And to be honest, that all depends on you. Now, if you're Miss Molaski, I am a race walker. I can walk very fast. My little legs, they go ding, 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 ding. Now, typically middle schoolers, I tend to pass them in the hallway. They are not fast walkers. So depending on how fast you walk, and also depends on where you live. If you live right across the street on Hughes or Hoover, you get to sleep in. If you live down the street like some other people, you might have to wake up a little bit earlier. So I would say give yourselves at least 25 minutes if you have to walk here to school to get on time, depending on how fast you move, who you're walking with. If you're walking with friends, you might be talking, not paying attention, and so forth. But practice it. This summer, get up, walk here, time yourself. You also need to use the crossing guard is out here. I'm going like this, like you know what I'm talking about, because I'm right outside where the crossing guard is, but you don't understand that. But there's a little light that flashes yellow if the crossing guard's not there, because Princeton Pike is very dangerous to cross. And we also don't let kids walk to nighttime activities. So if we have a dance at night, you're not allowed to walk. You must get a ride with somebody, and so forth. So you need to do that. Oh, the question was about sitting with your friends at lunch. Mrs. Reynolds, do you want to take that one? And we kind of don't know the answer to that.
We don't know how lunch is going to look next year. Traditionally, though, if you are in lunch with a friend, you are able to sit with them as long as there's no issues or anything along those lines. But I think lunch is going to look a little different next year based on our guidelines and stuff that we're going to receive. So if you happen to be with a friend, there'll be a good chance that you might still be able to be in the same area as them, but we'll have to kind of hold tight on that question until we get some further information about how we can do things.
Yeah, so typically yes, but right now we just don't know what that's going to look like. So
I think what the person is probably asking about is because in LIS you're assigned by your class. That's not how it works here. So
but we're not sure yet, Ms. Strominger.
Yeah. Okay.
Traditionally, you're absolutely right. You would not have to sit with your class, and you wouldn't have to sit with them at a table and so forth. We're just not sure if everyone's going to be eating in the cafeteria next year. So you may have to be with your class, but there might be 2 or 3 other classes in there that you can sit at any table, but classes may be assigned to certain areas of the building. And I haven't even shared that with the people on this call right now. So that's why you wouldn't know that, because it's still kind of, we're talking about it. Are the class doors to door, or are they in different hallways? That's a really good question. So if you're on Draco, you get the luck of that pretty much. Your classes are all pretty much in the same hallway. Orion and Phoenix, we try to make your classes as close to each other as possible. However, there's a lot of classes you're going to have that are off house. And then there's going to be things that are separate, like the gym is in a separate location from the academic wing. Like we have an academic, and you have the same thing at LIS where the gym and the all-purpose room are together, and then your academics are in another area. But there, you may not have things like across the hall. That's why we have a 3 minutes in between classes so that you can get from one class to the other class pretty easily. So Jeremy is asking a question, are we going to be in the building? Jeremy, we're planning to be in the building next year. Yes, we're going to cross our fingers that these variances don't come and that we are in good health. And otherwise, we're going to be masking up and we're going to take the precautions the best that we can. And because we want to see you guys, we want to see your shining faces when you come to the school. All right. The other question I had was, there is no, I think I answered this, but I can't remember. There is no ice hockey. There is no football. Those are things that you'll have at the high school when you get to the high school. And then the other question was like, how many times will you study Chinese? And in 7th grade, you have Chinese for 30 days. And you'll have French for 30 days and you'll have Spanish for 30 days. You rotate, everybody takes the languages. And you'll enjoy it. Our teachers are fun. They're fun. All right, I think that's it. Whew. They had good questions, didn't they? I'm really impressed. I'm already impressed with this group. You put yourselves out on a limb. You even wanted shout outs. I love kids who want to shout out because I love doing a shout out. So we appreciate it. Oh, I know I'm sorry. There is one more question I forgot. Miss Narati had another question. And her question was about grades and sports. Yes, we follow the same rules that the high school have. If you are not academically eligible, meaning you don't pass those classes, you're not going to be able to play. You may not be able to start. That same goes with your behavior. If you are misbehaving in school and getting detentions and not doing what you're supposed to do, then you could be getting in trouble and not playing sports. So don't do that. All right, we're going to end on positive notes now, because this is a positive place, right? We want you to be happy when you come here. We want to wish you all the best. Finish out your school year strong. We want to thank Dr. Tui and Dr. Fisher for letting us have this presentation today. We really appreciate it. Shout out to all the 6th grade teachers for being with us and getting your kids online. And those of you that are virtual, we're going to see you soon as well. All right, everybody. We'll see you soon. Take care. Have a great summer. Don't forget our orientation's coming up. Take care. Bye.